Okay, so you know, if you know me and about what I present, I always like to come from statistics. So strengths. Basically, MySpace, even though people don't like it as much in America, this is not true in UK and some of the other European countries, but right now, MySpace is the largest social networking site in the US. 60 million monthly users. 67 million monthly users. That's a lot of people, okay? And I think I might have mentioned that half of those people are over 35 years old. Half of those people. So don't think it's just for kids anymore. It's not. It allows users freedom and creativity with the ability to tweak and add whenever they want to customize their profile. Okay, so right away you know that the social networks are profile-based. In other words, they ask you to set up a profile. So that's the first thing you've got to deal with is setting up your profile. Okay? In MySpace, you actually can advertise. They have a variety of different ad formats, and you can be in front of a lot of people. Again, the statistics of whether it's effective marketing and whether you get a lot of conversions, it's not great. I can tell you that. So you may, you know, but it also is not that expensive either. So you have to sort of measure, do you want that presence at all? I think there are other programs out there that actually deliver better results, but but you are in front of a lot of people. So again, it starts with your strategic marketing, branding maybe you want to do some branding. So as I said, if you have a widget or something like that, it gets in front of a lot of people, so you're not really looking for conversion, you're looking for branding. So again, it depends on your goal. The weakness is that it looks very cluttered and messy, and there's a high degree of profile customization, which, believe it or not, is a negative, because you can customize it to the point where you can be somewhat in stealth mode and not really be totally transparent. Hard to search and navigate, and I'll talk a little bit about lots of spam profiles, fake friend requests, and bad links in posts, and you know, again, they don't like the aggressive in-your-face marketing. So those are some of the negatives. Facebook, you'll see the strengths outweigh the negatives. And basically, it's the second largest social networking site in the U.S., 45 million monthly users. Consistent profile template and control, less clutter. They just changed it last week. So right now, it actually has less clutter, and it's actually even better looking. You know, what I like about Facebook is it has good search capabilities. Each section of the profile links to others with shared interests. Now, this is what happened to me. This is absolutely 100% true. I set up my profile on Facebook. And I went to school in Long Island in a very small high school. I think there were 200 in my high school. It was Elmont Memorial High School, EMHS. Well, you know, little peanut of a thing. Years and years ago. I set up my profile, and the instant I put submit on there and my profile became active, I got an email from a classmate that graduated, and he says, you're the first person that has EMHS, and, you know, et cetera. And he says, I graduated from Elmont Memorial High School, and I live in Waltham, you know. Oh, lucky me. So, so I said, but he said, I graduated, and he put the year down, and I said, oh, well, that was 2 years before me, so my sister, who lives in Colorado, graduated in his year. So I wrote him an email back, and I said, by the way, do you know, and I put her name down in parentheses, her maiden name, because a lot of people don't put their maiden name down, which they should, because if you're looking for another woman in your class, you want to know who she was before she, you know, especially if you go back, and I opened up I went to my yearbook to actually look these people up. You know, I mean, you know, it's like a miracle. Anyway, I wrote to her. She ended up saying, you know, she didn't remember him, but he remembered her. And they're creating a reunion now, and she knows, so she's in Colorado. She has friends in Florida now. So they're all getting connected, and so the reunion is going to be much better than it would have been had she not, you know, had I not gotten onto Facebook and had this connection. And now since that time, I've gotten many, many more high school, my own class, high school people, and I'm sitting there with my yearbook looking at those people and saying, well, what are they doing now? My God, it's been so long, and da-da-da. So it's really interesting if you really have time to catch up and to really use this platform. It gives you those messages. You don't have to go out there and say, I'm looking for people from my high school. Anyone who has a shared interest, they automatically get fed to you. So it's a wonderful resource for connectivity. So I can see why a lot of the college students, if you're in a certain class from a certain high school or whatever, all of your friends are going to be connected, and you have pictures, profiles. I mean, and it's really a great way to keep up and keep connected and in conference with these people. So from a connectivity now, and again, basically you could do this for a corporate presence as well. They now have a function for corporate presence. So you want to set up a corporate profile or a company profile as well as your own individual profile. I would recommend that you do both. Strong networking tools. You could do groups, events. I actually put this event on the, on the network, and it broadcasts out automatically, and it's just, you get, 45 million monthly people. It's a lot of people. And again, you can say Massachusetts or Boston, and so you'll get the people in your networking area. So, you can slice and dice data like that. They have all of that. The other thing that was recommended, you could do notes, pages, Facebook app, and they have an internal email system, as I said. So you have all of that, all of that working for you. The other thing you can do is you can set up privacy controls. They have settings up on the right. It's called settings. So you can go through those settings, and you can have displayed whatever you want. Whatever you want. So let's say you want some things that are private. Let's say your birthday year. You don't want people to know how old you are. So you can say, I want my date of birth and my day and month and day, but I don't want my year displayed. You can actually set up a lot of those, privacy. I don't want people to know my address. I don't want in other words, you can set up what you want to be seen. The real important key thing is be honest about what you want to be seen. You can do that. And then at a glance update, notifications with friends, news feeds, mini feeds. It's quite extensive, and it's worth playing with. Yes?
If you set up a corporate profile, obviously one of the things you want to happen is for people to be able to get in touch with you. I imagine that you'd allow them to do that through email. What type of spam experience are corporations having when they're putting their email address out to?
Well, Facebook is a private network, so they're not going to sell your information anywhere. So you're not going to get spam from Facebook.
If you have a corporate profile, what good is it to be out there if the people don't see your email address? How will they get in touch with you?
Well,
Facebook has.
There are people that know this better than I do. So go ahead.
Facebook has this great thing where you can't click on someone's email, send an email. You actually have to look at it and type it because it's a picture, it's not a text. When it goes in, they make some sort of script that makes it a picture.
Okay.
So you won't get spam bots, you won't get anything like that.
Thank you. Anyone else, by the way, who can chime in? Because I'm basically a newbie at doing a lot of these, and I'm not the person in our office that actually does the actual, Facebook campaigns.
Quick question is, if you had some personal data that you did not want shared, why input it into Facebook at all rather than type it in and then say, well, don't show it to anybody? Why would you even type it in?
You can do that. That's something that I think as a personal preference, maybe you shouldn't. You don't have to put in your high school. You don't have to put in your age. They don't
Right.
make you put any of that in. The only thing they actually require is your email address to validate that you are real, that you are a real person. And that's the only thing that they require. The one thing that I have found also is if you're going to do a lot of these social networks, make sure you write down your email is the same so that you can remember. But if you change your password all the time, it's really something else. You can always say, I forgot my password, and they'll send it to your email. But I'm on a lot of these different networks, and I have to actually write it down. In fact, today I wrote them down because I'm saying, can I get into my own? Because, I usually have it in my Rolodex, physically I have it written down so that I have all these passwords. It gets crazy with all the passwords, let me tell you. But, you want to change it up. That's the other thing is you don't want to use the same password that you might use for your bank account and for this and for that. You really should have different passwords, but then to try to remember them is like another thing.
No, I had a Facebook account just for my personal friends networking, and there's stuff on there that I share with my friends because they're invited. Are you saying, since we're all here for our businesses, can you set up a separate account
Yes.
for your business?
Yes.
And tailor it for that?
Exactly.